Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Today, I want to explain about deep and surface structure in syntax. My name is Muhammad Dipo Hasbi from class 33 6B07 with student number 33220176. Today, I'm going to explain it to you. So, the first one. Syntax is the study of the rules governing the way words are combined to form sentences in a language. For Chomsky, the goal of the study of syntax is to describe the set of rules of grammar that enable us to produce and understand language. The ability to identify classification of words become essential in understanding the subject. The terms deep structure and surface structure were introduced by Noam Chomsky as part of his work. So, the syntactic components generate deep structure and the surface structure for every sentence. The deep structure is the output of the base rules and the input to the semantic components, while surface structures is what is in your mind or you write and say, according to Hardy in the year 2014. In other words, deep structure, in other words, it divided into two. Deep structure is the structure which is in the mind of the speaker and had a complete meaning. For surface structure is the sentence which is spoken or written. In deep structure, the true meaning of what we want to say is kept on people's mind. For instance, when someone wants to convey his or her idea to other people, she or he need to express it in a sentence so that it can be understood by other people. That is the reason why we need to learn deep and surface structure to minimize the misunderstanding in understanding the sentence in detail. Deep structure is a representation of the actual significance of the language form. In other words, the deep structure is the place where mental process actually occur, while the surface structure is a form of a language based on the deep structure. Moreover, surface structure means the language spoken or written both in real and only in the mind of conscious or in the heart. The deep structure and the surface and deep structure can be studied based on the semantic aspect, meaning, and syntactic aspects or grammar. So, after knowing about deep and surface structure, we're going to the part 2. In this part, I was go- I were going to explain the tree diagram. There are 5 questions. So the first one, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. The sentence divided into noun phrase and verb phrase. In the noun phrase section divided into 3. The first one is determiner, the, and the second one is adjective phrase, became quick and brown, and then the noun fox. In the verb phrase divided into 2. Verb, it's jump, and prepositional phrase. In the prepositional phrase divided into 2 again. The preposition over and the noun phrase. The noun phrase divided into 3. Determiner the, adjective phrase became adjective lazy, and the noun dog. So, what about the deep structure? The basic proposition is the fox jumps over the dog, and then the adjective quick and brown and lazy are modifier that added to enrich the subject and object nouns. There are no movement or embedding, so it's a simple sentence in both and deep form. So the second question is, the girl who is wearing a red dress is dancing. As you can see, The sentence divided into two, the noun phrase and verb phrase. The noun phrase divided into article or determiner the and noun girls. And then in the noun phrase, there are clause. There is in the clause divided into three, pronoun who and divided to two, three. Pronoun who, verb is, and then the next one is verb wearing, and then article a, adjective red, and noun dress. In the verb phrase, divided into two verbs, is and dancing. So what about the deep structure? There are two clauses in the sentence. The first one is the girl is dancing, and then the second one is the girl is wearing a red dress. The second clause is embedded as a relative clause modifying girl. Deep structure shows two propositions joined via embedding. The first is the girl is dancing, and then the second one is the girl is wearing a red dress, transformed into a relative clause. Now, the third question. Stefano saw his killer with the telescope, and then divided to noun Stefano, verb saw, article the, noun his killer, preposition with, and then article or determiner the, and noun telescope. In the deep structure of this sentence, there are ambiguity. The first ambiguity is Stefano used the telescope to see his killer. This is instrumental prepositional phrase that modifies verb. And then the second one is his killer had the telescope. The prepositional phrase modifies the noun. And then the fourth question. She believes that the earth is round. In this tree diagram, the pronoun is she, the verb believes, conjunction that, article the, noun earth, verb is, and adjective round. The deep structure is there are two clauses. The first one is she believes something, and then the second one is the earth is round. This is the embedded clause. The sentence has a complement clause functioning as the object of beliefs. And then the last question. The house where I grew up has been demolished. The tree diagram divided into two, noun phrase and verb phrase. In the noun phrase, divided into three, the article the, noun house, and then clause divided into three, adverb where, pronoun I, and then verb grew and adverb up. In the verb phrase, divided into three verbs. The first verb is has, the second been, the third demolished. So what about the deep structure? In the sentence, there are two propositions. The first one is the house has been demolished. The second one, I grew up in the house, transformed into a relative clause with where. And then the second explanation is deep structure includes a prepositional phrase in the house that is moved and replaced by where. This is the citation about deep and surface structure that I had been talking earlier. Thank you so much to listen my presentation. Sorry if there are any words that I mispronounce or anything. Thank you.